you see themselves even like you have to see yourself better than how the world sees you. But you need to first understand how they see us. And I kind of agree with him. So here, Uplift Africa clip as well. The credit for this video also goes to them as well, right? Quite an interesting speech. Also very much interesting watch. Now listen to the guy talk.
This continent has suffered so much and continues to suffer because of imperialists. These imperialists have only one cliché in mind. Africa is the empire of slaves. This is how they see Africa. For them, Africans belong to them. Our lands belong to them. Our subsoil belongs to them. They have never been able to change the logic until today. This is deplorable. But how do they proceed? Unfortunately, it is since the 1960s that these 6,000 acres of independence have been given to Africa. They have just placed local valets at the head, according to them, of their sub-prefecture to be able to continue to feed them. These local valets, which we are going to call today the slaves of Salon, have other goals. They want to live like the master, to satisfy the master, and to do everything that the master dictates to them. They steal, they plunder our states, they bring everything to the master, and their wealth is kept with the master. They do everything to live like the master and always satisfy him. Do you know who these slaves of Salon are? Well, we are going to explain to you what they are. They are individuals who have no dignity, who have no morals, who have no personality. But the master slave has always known how to identify these individuals. They are always ready to betray their brother, to satisfy the master. They have betrayed us since independence, and others continue to betray us to the benefit of their master. These individuals continue, against all odds, to help the master plunder Africa. They like to say it every year. In their economic polls, Burkina is the poorest country, Mali is the poorest country, Niger is the poorest country. We are ranked among the last. Very well, if we are as poor as they say. But when the time has come to take responsibility, we have asked this master to leave the place. Why don't they want to leave? When we take the case of Niger, for more than 40 years, some countries have been exploiting uranium to produce energy at home. From Ottawa to Paris, the streets are illuminated. It is the light. But in Niger, it is the darkness that has served us. When you go to our states, our soils are full of precious metals, such as gold. But often there is not even the slightest road accessible to reach the areas where they exploit gold, even less certain basic social services. This is why we have decided to revolt and take the fate of our countries into our own hands. There are many other examples. But when we decided so, we were approached by some saloon slaves to pass on the message of their master. Because they had created this kind of polymer chain that rises to the heads of our states to serve them. And we came to break the chain. And it is inconceivable for them. They approached us and asked us to enter the ranks, to make the elite leave that must lead Africa. Because they have an elite formed and formatted that must follow, that is embedded in this chain. We refuse to enter their ranks. And then the hostilities began.
Les hostilités ont commencé.
They have sent several mercenaries and trainers to our area. The agents have descended into the Sahel to carry out barbaric, cowardly attacks against our people, hoping to revolt them. In addition to these attacks on the ground, the attacks on communication, manipulation, and disinformation are full in their ranks. But the people of the Sahel have understood, and we will never be able to be manipulated again. They know where they come from, they know what they are doing, and they know where they are going. We will no longer allow this. People are awake, and people are fighting today, not for ourselves, but for future generations. And thank you all for the fight that is being fought. This will never make us cry. We will not tremble. We will fight. We will fight for real independence, for our freedom. Because to scare the people of the Sahel, these individuals have only 3 terms in their mouths: democracy, freedom, human rights. Of course, their local values are only elected in a democratic, free and transparent process according to their values. What is more normal, that we want to impose this on ourselves, because it is they who dictate the rules. Very well, we have decided to take responsibility. Do you know why on June 26, 2023, when Niger decided to turn the page, the slaves of Salon and their masters got on the big horses? They put their local values forward and decided to wage a war against the Nigerian people. So we said, anyone who dares to take up arms against Niger will face us. Because we will wage a merciless war until the last drop of blood for anyone who dares to attack our states. This word, this decision we made yesterday, is current today and will be current tomorrow and forever. Thus, we acquired the AES on September 16, 2023, in a mutual defense architecture. But we felt it necessary to extend and therefore enlarge the AES architecture. What brings us together today must allow us to go to other areas in addition to defense, including finance and economy, infrastructure, health, education. In short, I pass. So I hope that this moment will be for us a story that we will write for the AES, but especially for Africa and for the whole world. May God illuminate each and every one of us. May God inspire us in these tasks that are entrusted to us. And above all, that when we do all our work, that we have in mind only one thing: the supreme interest of our people. On this, we pray once again, good God, that He accompanies us all in our different tasks. That He protects our fighters, who thanks to them, allow us to sit here and exchange about the future of our states. So be grateful once again, Nigerian people. Be united and united, people of the AES, the homeland or death.
I'm not crying. Now sand enter my eyes. That is a 35 going to 36-year-old young man who spoke so clearly, right? Enough for everyone who listened to that to kind of feel like that's a leader talking. He said they would die. And that's why he told them, you remember, when Nigeria was preparing to attack Niger Republic, it was him and the other guy from Mali who said, try it. If you attack Mali, we will mobilize. We will attack Benin Republic. We will attack Côte d'Ivoire. We will attack some of this neighboring countries. Then Nigeria, we will collaboratively attack everywhere. It's going to be like African World War. And they meant it. And that was what pushed everybody back and said, you know what? He said the word of these colonizers are always democracy, human rights, democracy, human rights. But yet they watch their puppets in all these supposed democratic country turn guns on their citizens whenever they press for their rights, human rights. The West watches these criminals turn their guns on their citizens, jail them, and all of this, disobey their court, but the West look away. So they said, no, we're not going to impose that on ourselves anymore. You come for one of us, you're coming for all of us. That's some drive. You tell me about it. Yeah? And it's very clear. It's not about himself. He said, we have been robbed for so long. Listen, he said, these African countries, so Burkina Faso, Mali, Niger, what we read about them in our current affairs, they've always been ranked as the poorest country in the world. The poorest country in the world. They constantly make you leave. Now you don't want to leave. You are harming terrorists to kill local people so that you can turn them against these people and maybe, get some of others you can arm to overthrow them and impose your puppet in them. You said they are the poorest countries in the world. What are you doing in the poorest country in the world? Niger is the poorest. Burkina is poorest. Mali is the poorest. What are you doing in the poorest country? Because they are taking their uranium, taking some of their mineral resources to illuminate their own countries. All this power we are enjoying here, some of them are coming from all these African countries. But guess what? Where they are coming from? Where all these resources that they are using to beautify all these places, power all these industries in this Western world, where these resources are coming from are in darkness. Come on, that's not fair. And they were allowed to do this for decades. Until some are now saying that we are not saying you shouldn't take them. Listen, we can't use all of them. Africa can't use all these resources. The world needs these resources. I'll be fine. Then you have to deal with us on a pedestal of respect. You have to respect people who have the resources you need. You don't treat us like the colony of slaves. Unfortunately, we have puppets all over Africa, making the slavery more or less like us being, we should be grateful. So a lot of people are, a lot of these, citizens from all these oppressed African countries, right? Some of them are watching with keen interest, and they are like, you don't understand. They will soon kill him. We hope they don't assassinate him. Don't think like that. Instead of thinking of how powerful the West will want to destroy that young man, how about you are entertaining in your head, right? How that young man must be supported. They don't speak English, and I give that beautiful credit to Uplift Africa, YouTube, and then X for that great job. Because now that means it can reach other audience across Africa to let you know that the bubble you are living in your country, the fear you are living through in your country, the criminals that are telling you that if you ask for anything right is a threat to national security. They are the threat to national security. They are the threat to your lives. things are happening in other African countries, and you need to know about them. Let's watch the rest of that video of what other things he is kind of doing as at last year, 2023, a year after he took over and chased away their elites. The ones that want to look like their slave masters. They want to dress like their slave masters. They want to live in big fancy houses like their slave masters. They want to display opulence. They want to, you know what I mean? They want to eat at the fancy restaurant like their slave masters. They want to buy their own private jet like their slave masters. They want to travel all over the world and appear like royals, plunderers, thieves. And those are the people that are promoting democracy, human rights, democracy, human rights. But see what they are doing to you with your democracy and human rights. And see where the West is looking at. Let's watch the rest of that clip quickly.
After you go say make civil servant 1,000 hectares of land, greatly boosting agricultural production and improving food security throughout the country. Furthermore, the dam will generate electricity, reducing Burkina Faso's reliance on imported energy and providing a reliable source of water. This essential infrastructure project will also create job opportunities for locals, which is why Traore has made it one of his administration's top priorities. The Ouagadougou High-Speed Train Project. The Ouagadougou High-Speed Train is a railway project that aims to link the capitals of Burkina Faso and Ivory Coast over a distance of 1,150 kilometers. It will reduce the travel time from 36 hours to 6 hours and transport more than 5 million passengers and 10 million tons of goods per year. It will promote regional integration, trade, tourism, and sustainable development. The Ouagadougou high-speed train is the result of cooperation between the two countries, which signed an agreement in 2021 to carry out the project. Agriculture and rural development projects. Traore has initiated a remarkable agricultural transformation program that aims to revolutionize the agricultural industry. The program is focused on increasing agricultural production, improving food security, and creating jobs in the sector. It's a comprehensive plan that includes providing farmers with access to improved seeds and fertilizers, offering training and technical assistance, and enhancing the marketing of agricultural products. Moreover, the program also recognizes the significance of water conservation and irrigation systems. To combat the impacts of drought, the construction and rehabilitation of irrigation systems and water harvesting infrastructure are underway, ensuring that farming can be carried out throughout the year. The program also aims to develop rural areas with a focus on constructing and maintaining rural roads, establishing marketplaces, and building storage facilities. These efforts will facilitate transportation, reduce losses from harvests, and connect farmers to markets. This incredible initiative has garnered support from international organizations and national institutions who are providing funding, technical assistance, and sharing their knowledge to ensure the success of these projects. Traore's agricultural transformation program is a game-changer for the agricultural industry, and it's exciting to see the positive impact it's having on farmers and the communities they serve. The Museum of Civilizations of Ouagadougou. The Museum of Civilization of Ouagadougou is an ambitious cultural project that aims to enhance the historical and artistic heritage of Burkina Faso. It will be built on a land of 10 hectares in the Zogona district near the international airport. It will include a 12,000 square meters main building, which will house exhibition rooms, educational spaces, reserves, laboratories, and auditoriums. It will also include a landscaped park, which will host sculptures, installations, and performances. The Museum of Civilizations of Ouagadougou will be a place of memory, dialogue, and creation, which will highlight the diversity and richness of the cultures of Burkina Faso. The Burkina Sat-1 satellite. In 2023, Burkina Faso made history by launching its very first artificial satellite, the Burkina Sat-1. As part of the African Space Program, This nanosatellite weighs in at a mere 10 kilo and orbits 500 kilometers above the Earth's surface. Its main mission is to gather crucial data on a variety of important fields, including climate, environment, agriculture, health, and safety. But the Burkina Sat-1 is more than just a data-gathering tool. It's a symbol of Burkina Faso's determination to become a major player in the world of space innovation and technology. By strengthening its scientific and technological capabilities and asserting its digital sovereignty, Burkina Faso is proving itself to be a nation with a bold vision for the future. In just over a year, Traore has accomplished an impressive array of initiatives to improve Burkina Faso. He's also made it a top priority to combat terrorism in the country. Leaders across Africa should take a cue from Traore's example and strive to make the continent a better place. What are your thoughts on this? Share your insights.
In country where trillions of dollars have been exploited from, but rendered so poor that the people are only reading about how rich their country is in mineral resources and how much their wealth, the wealth of their country, has created worldwide billionaires who make their money and their wealth from the sweat and the blood of people of Burkina Faso and Africa in general. So somehow they deserve a taste of their own supposed wealth. And that's why when you see a young man like that, the ideal thing is, even though they don't speak English, there are so many other platforms where you can indeed follow their progress. They are just like starting afresh. It's like a country that is just getting independence. Okay? And for those of you who have been following this, the white malice that we're reading, you will realize that this is Burkina Faso 2024. But if you look back very well, it is not different from Congo, Belgian Congo of 1960, 61, 62. So the only thing, the difference is that it is all the war after the resources. The people in these countries are pretty much like your resources is what they see. They don't see you Africans. So because of the uranium in Congo, Lumumba became a target and he was even killed for it. Simply because of that resources, he was a very young man. A young man that was, you see everything you heard about from Traore's mouth, when they play it to themselves in their situation room in Washington or in Paris, when they listen to him, he is considered as a big threat to French people. This is somebody from Africa, Burkina Faso, that says, I don't want you, the French, to take our stuff the way you are doing anymore. But the government of France and the rest, and the security community of France, majority of them will look at him as, see the way he's talking. We have to do something. Same thing in Washington. We need to do something about this young man. Just everything you read here. Replace Traore with Lumumba. Replace Burkina Faso with Congo. And you will see history about to repeat itself. So as an African watching this or following this, right? I don't know what you have been. I don't know how much the brainwashing has worked on you when they shout this, their democracy, democracy. Do you think the same democracy that we are practicing here in the UK, or the one they are practicing in the West, the one they are practicing in America, do you think it's the same democracy you are practicing in Africa? Or is the African version of democracy? There's nothing anybody can tell me. I don't like military. And who told you that? The West. Democracy is the best form of government. Who told you that? The West. But yet they are enabling criminals, crooks, right? That would, to do what they themselves would never try in their own countries, ever. The people in their countries were supposed to come first. You've seen that.